When I was 3 years old, I saw a skateboarder push down the street. He was playing in the street and I wasn't allowed to play in the street. It's so interesting that it started out as, I don't know if badass is the right word, but like from the first moment it was like, he's not supposed to be there, and that's rad. I'm from White Rock, BC, Canada, which is right below Vancouver and 5 minutes from the US border. I started talking to my parents, like, I want a board, I want a board. I don't really remember, but I got a board for my 4th birthday. When I started skating for the first long time, it was bowl and freestyle. I think one of the biggest influences that got me skating freestyle was the winter and being stuck in my garage. I think skating flat ground for like seasons, you know what I mean? Like for the winter, all I have is flat ground, and rejecting the ollie. Being like, ollies are lame, you know? Like, so stupid looking back, but also that environment like made me the skater that I am. I look back at footage of me when I'm 11 and I'm doing 1-foot primo tricks with rails on my board. You know what I mean? Like, just like I did not change. I have the same signature, same email, same trick selection. Like, it's just 11-year-old me just grown up. The video parts that were coming out when I was skating were like, Yeah Right, Dying to Live, the DC video, like a lot of this stuff. And honestly, the ledge skating, the stair skating, the nollie heel flip nose slide, like I was like, that is, like kickflip nose slide and nollie heel back nose blunt like looked the same to me. So I just was not turned on by that at all. So I ended up rejecting it, and then everybody else was doing that only, you know. I didn't feel like I could catch up. So the way I progressed my skating was I started with Dogtown Z-Boys, and I emulated them until I felt like I could hang with those guys. And then it went into the Powell 8th Street videos. And then I tried to like learn those tricks. And then the 90s came way more recently. You know what I mean? Like I tried to like go through the eras, 70s, 80s, 90s. But it's not till very recently where I'm like, oh, nollie crook on a curb. Like, I might start playing with that, you know, but I just never wanted to before. Now I'm like, yeah, I can see it, I can feel it. I love the origins of whatever I like. So like all my sponsors, I'm affiliated with them because of their origin stories. Like all that stuff, like Powell's just 2 legendary skull skates, like Etnies being the first skater-owned shoe, like whatever, you know what I mean? Like whatever the story is, I want to break it down to where it started. And with skateboarding, it's no different, right? So that I just always stoked on that stuff. But like when I board slide around 90-degree corners, I'm like, David Gravette, thank you. Thank you, I saw you do that, you know what I mean? I don't know who did it first, but for me it was David Gravette, like thanks. And then when I like 5-0 through a kink row, I'm like, Leo Romero, thank you. Thanks for enlightening me, like you can pinch a 5-0 on a round bar. Kevin Harris is a huge influence for me. He's the first ever pro to come out of Canada, solely a freestyle skateboarder, and he had a full-fledged pro skateboard career without ever popping an ollie. And that is like so inspirational for me. Also as a freestyler, he never messed around with pogos, primos, or caspers, which is the 3 tricks people think of when they think of freestyle. So what else is there? No popped tricks, no pogos, primos, or caspers. Turns out there's a whole skateboard career's worth of tricks still. So that was super influential for me, like realizing that from a young age. Like you could ignore everything that everybody's doing and still find in the right direction. And all the homies at Skull Skates really hooked me up with the hot tips. Like go watch 8th Street, go study Chad Vaught mini ramp skating. Like, oh, okay, watch Chad Vaught, like I have 3 years worth of tricks to learn now. Like, thank you, you know? Like, and just kind of getting pushed in the right directions. I've always had really informed people informing me. I think it's been a huge benefit. Oh, this is a Swedish manual to soft serve. You know, my specialty is the soft serve. You know, I feel like I may have contributed that to skateboarding. If you've seen it before, let me know. But here's the big thing about the Swedish manual, which I did not contribute, is your foot cannot be on your nose. That's the cheater's way. No, your foot has to be behind the truck. You could learn it there, but preferably back there. And then... How I got on Powell is a trip. There was a freestyle contest in Vancouver, and it's World Championship freestyle contest hosted by Kevin Harris. And I'm like, oh my God. Literally the biggest freestyle contest in the world is 20 minutes from my house. George Powell showed up to recruit, and I ended up winning the amateur division that year, and he picked me up. He put me on Powell, and everybody else that was on the Powell team was like, fuck this kid. He skates freestyle with a helmet on, like, it's not even dangerous. Like, what the hell is he doing? Like, but I got to bypass the whole industry because George was hyped. George has been one of those people that's been huge for my life. I want to take flavors from the forgotten eras and shed some light on them. Like, my favorite thing about skateboarding is balance. Like, some people like going fast or high or what. I just like balancing. So that ends up being slow a lot of the time, which isn't very exciting. So I try to learn my slow tricks really well, and then I can present them fast, but like the bails are ridiculous. 100%, everything I'm doing in Cali, I cannot do back home. So like even when it comes to board design, I was designing my board for like years, right? Over the phone, over email. Then the day I went to the factory in person, I got the shape I wanted. One session, like cutting out paper, like that just paints the picture of how important it is to be around where the things are happening. The filmers are out here, the weather is out here, the spots are out here. And I want to be in Venice for, again, the origin story of skateboarding. Like, there's the first curb, it's still here. We can still board slide it. You know what I mean? Like, Nodis did this there. We can go do that there. Like, we don't have to emulate it somewhere else. Like, this is where it was. I'm working on so much. I'm working on so many things, dude. I'm working on like multiple different wheels and boards and video projects. Like, I'm trying to, working on a lot of stuff. It's kind of hard to get into it all. My last Powell part, which was like the biggest project I ever did, took 3 years to film, all my hardest tricks. I feel like that needed to happen. I went pro without a pro part. That doesn't happen, right? So I felt like I was pro and I didn't have a part out. So I needed that. So I got that done, and now the next projects are gonna be a little bit more interesting.